back, you're watching Overdrive. MG Motor India has recently given the Gloster a facelift. Not only that, it also comes with a two-wheel drive variant which also gets ADAS functionality. Tuhin will get you all the details.
Now the MG Gloster remains the only real direct ladder frame 4x4 rival to the Toyota Fortuner, and it undercuts this main rival quite significantly. And now to strengthen its case even further, MG has given the Gloster a minor update. So today in this video we'll tell you what all has actually changed with this. Now on the outside, these changes are limited to this new deep golden shade of paint which has quite a nice brownish bronze hue to it. And then you also have a new design for the 19-inch alloy wheels. They're quite a crisp two-tone look, so it goes very well with the original design of the Gloster. So you have an SUV with a slightly old school, anonymous look, but its sheer mass and adornments do give it the road presence someone shopping for it might want. Now for what's changed on the inside of the new Gloster, most of them are centered around this 12.3-inch touchscreen. The screen itself remains the same, although you do get a new interface. It's shared with what you find in the MG Astra, and it's much more intuitive than what the Gloster got before. So the menus there a bit more legible, they're easier to navigate, a bit more sensible, and you also get more functions. For example, the Map My India navigation will also show you the weather as well as the AQI, which is a nice touch. And the iSmart app will also now give you details about how to control the air conditioning, the ambient lighting and so on right from the phone, so you can do that on the move. The rest of the interiors remain as they were, so it's got a good sense of quality to it. Soft materials and leather cover most of the panels, and you get clear part digital instruments, well-placed switches and great space. Now you climb into the MG Gloster in the way that you should for a large SUV. So there's a footstep, a handle. So climbing in, even though it's a bit of a step up, is easy. And yeah, you sit in a slightly easier position because again, this is a ladder frame SUV, so the floor is a bit high. But it must be said that underside support is not too bad. The seat backs and the cushions are quite supportive. Although again, the cushioning itself could have been slightly softer, and maybe this bulge could have been slightly less apparent, and it does eat into your back over, say, a longer journey. But in terms of amenities, you can slide the seat forward or back, recline it to quite a comfortable angle. And yeah, of course, you have a separate climate zone, a nice sort of covering for the chargers, and a large panoramic sunroof. And yeah, the AC vents are here on the sides. But the long list of features will be a big draw. You get heated and cooled seats, powered front seats with a massage and cooling function for the driver, 3-zone AC, panoramic sunroof, auto headlamps and wipers, a power tailgate and a 12.3-inch touchscreen. Now to get into the third row of the MG Gloster, you slide the seat forward like this, get in through this gap, or if you're not very large, you can walk through right here. But you notice that there's no handle to pull the seat back from behind, so this is the only way that you do it. But even with the seat fully back, you realize that there's a good amount of knee room. Although your feet are cramped in, there's not too much space to put your feet under the second row of seats. But once you're here, you'll realize the space is good enough for 2 adults, say on a longer journey. And it is a 2-seater here, so 2 adults should be fine completely. And of course, the seat back, the cushioning is pretty decent. You get some amount of recline, not much. You get this AC vent over here and a charge port, a 12-volt power outlet here. The top Savvy trim we are driving gets the 2-litre twin-turbo diesel with its 215 PS and 478 Nm. You also get a full set of 4x4 equipment like terrain modes and a differential lock. Lower variants get a single turbo version of the same motor, while 2-wheel drive options are available too. Now as you would expect, the Gloster drives exactly as it used to before. So at low speeds, the engine, even though with its significant outputs, it is a bit sluggish before the boost kicks in, before both the turbos are fully spooled up. And it also has this tendency to sort of go into a coast kind of situation. The revs drop, which means that, say in on-off traffic where you are accelerating, decelerating, it does feel a bit sluggish. But once you're moving and up and running on a steady stretch of road, you really can feel that there is a reasonable amount, enough performance to move this car along, this big heavy car along at a reasonable pace. And as always, the 8-speed, it's pretty inoffensive. It's not the quickest, but the shifts aren't too perceivable, which is a good thing. And it just keeps working in the background, so you don't really notice it. It always puts it in the right gear, more or less. So that's how it drives. The steering is light, which is great in the city actually. And you can see the edges of the car, the pillars aren't too big, the windows are large, so maneuvering in the city is not very difficult. And then when you speed up, you notice that the steering could have weighed up a bit, but what really catches your eye, or what you feel the most, is this car's ride and handling. It, especially its ride, which smoothens out, or at slow speeds over big bumps, there is that rocking sort of jittery motion that you associate with ladder frames. Some of it is there, but that smoothens out quite a bit, and so you really don't feel too much of the big bumps then. But quite impressive is the handling of this big heavy SUV. So say over sweeping highway corners or even some tighter ones where you notice that you can hold high speeds, it doesn't feel wallowy, it doesn't feel, you know, skittish at these speeds. It holds its line well, which really is quite reassuring. There are a few more ADAS features to go with this update to the MG Gloster. You now get door open warning, rear cross traffic alert and lane change assist. This is in addition to the adaptive cruise control and lane departure warning and prevention systems, among other things already present. Passive safety equipment includes front, side and curtain airbags, stability control, traction control, hill descent control, hill hold, 360-degree cameras, TPMS and a driver fatigue system. Now prices for the MG Gloster now start at rupees 32 lakh and go up to rupees 40.77 lakh after this update. And with this change, the Gloster, it remains inherently unchanged, although its strength of having a good set of tech features has been further enhanced.
With that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through Facebook, Twitter as well as YouTube. And you can follow our latest updates on Instagram. Until we see you next week then, drive and ride safe.